Hi there, I'm Amanda Cromhote from Truth. Welcome to the Blind Loyalty Challenge. We interview world experts in loyalty blindly. We're hoping to create insight, spontaneity, and a lot of fun through the challenge. The challenge is about promoting the blind loyalty trust, and my book called Blind Loyalty, 101 Loyalty Concepts Radically Simplified. All profits from the book go towards the trust. We hope you enjoy the Blind Loyalty Challenge. So hi, Simon. We have Simon Rowles, who's a partner at Ellipsis & Co. Really excited to have you. And Simon and I are actually co-partners at the Customer Strategy Network. So an extra special connection between us. Welcome, Simon.
Amanda, thank you for having me. Looking forward to this.
So we are the day after the Rugby World Cup final, and you are a South African in New Zealand. So I'm going to save that question till last. So my first question, chapters 87 and 88 of Blind Loyalty talk about technology vendor choice and technology RFPs and so forth. So I know that's something you are deeply involved in. What do you think is the biggest mistake vendors make when they're coming into new territories?
I think it's more the mistake that some of the brands make. So I don't like RFPs, or certainly RFPs that build an impossible program and then try and find an impossible vendor to fulfill it. So we quite like a process which is like speed dating, where you introduce the vendors early to the client. And some technology types, it doesn't really matter how different they are or how good they are, as long as they're bulletproof. They've got a lot of history behind them, a lot of clients behind them. It then matters more about the team that's running it. And we found in many instances, exceptional technology has lost to a good team that the client feels that they can partner with. We've also seen clients switch direction as they go through the meeting process. We had one recently that they thought they were buying a loyalty platform, and in the end bought a marketing cloud and a CDP attached, because their plans changed as they discovered what was in the field. In terms of vendors, I think a lot of them think the first thing to do is a demo. And then this is the personal view, death before demos. I can't sit through another one that isn't focused on what the clients need.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I love what you said about clients, actually, because I think we see it all the time as well here. So I know you're deeply involved in that. So thanks for sharing that, Simon. And also, I know like South Africa, I think your area of the world is really exciting, a really mature market, and there's lots happening. So what do you think has been the most exciting new program to come into either your markets or anywhere in the world in the last, say, 12 or 24 months?
So I'm going to be selfish here and say the most exciting one is a Star Alliance card that the Ellipsis client, Star Alliance, launched in Australia. It's the first time the airline has decoupled status from points earning. And in Australia, Star Alliance doesn't have an airline. But together, the component airlines, which includes from your part of the world, South African Airways, Thai, United, Singapore, together they're bigger than the local domestic airline Qantas. So together they've launched a card with HSBC, and together those airlines are taking on Qantas. So for me, that yes, we got to work on it, but yeah, I think it's a game changer because status decouples from points.
Yeah, so much change in the airline industry, and wonderful you've had a chance to work on that. I'm originally from One World. I used to be the project director of One World, so I know Star.
You're the enemy then. You're the enemy. Qantas is One World. We've been working with Star Alliance.
Exactly. Okay, I've saved the very best till last, Simon. So emotional loyalty we discuss in chapter 96. So how would you describe the emotional loyalty behind supporting either your country of birth or your country of residence in a Rugby World Cup final?
You made it hard. You made it hard. I think it comes down, certainly for a rugby team, it came down to a decision. So when we moved from South Africa to New Zealand, we took on all the New Zealand isms, including their religion, which is called rugby and is called the All Blacks. And that religion's treated us quite well to date. A couple of hiccups along the way, but on the weekend, your team and my team were both there with 3 World Cups and a chance to be the first to take a 4th World Cup. Well done to your team. Well done, the Springboks. I think it's also attached to who you know. So we don't really know any of the Springbok players. We kind of divorced from what's happening in that part of the world. We know all the local team because they're gods. They're always in the press. The only one I'd say is different is Eben Etzebeth, because my son looks like him.
Yeah, cute. Yeah, well, is he as tall as Eben?
As tall, as muscular.
Okay, well, actually, my team, if I'm going to admit it, is actually England. But yes, you're right. I was definitely supporting the Springboks and very happy with their result on Saturday. So thanks, Simon. You very, very politically answered that question superbly. So thank you so much. Yeah, so that last question, which isn't really an official question, is who would you like to tag to take on the Blind Loyalty Challenge?
Well, this is a bit daunting because Nick Laming challenged me, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Nick. Nick's a bit of a god of loyalty. The only other guy I can think who's up there at the same level is Mark Sage at DFS, and hopefully he'll be up for the challenge. But he's got more loyalty knowledge than I think I'll ever hope to gain. So I think he'd be great.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to meeting Mark, and I hope he says yes. Simon, you've been an absolute star. I love the way you've answered all questions, but particularly the last question. So thank you for doing the Blind Loyalty Challenge.
Amanda, thank you. And all the best with your book.